Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever, just stopped and considered how often you see a particular type of onion? Specifically the ones from India? They seem to pop up everywhere.
They really do.
It seems so mundane, or
Yeah,
just a kitchen staple.
yeah.
But have you ever paused to think about the story behind this?
hmm
Well, it's incredibly common vegetable.
It's a great question because what looks like just another ingredient on your chopping board is actually, well, it's tangled up in some surprising economic and political threads, even cultural ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to really dive deep into why Indian onions are just so prevalent. What kind of global impact do they have? And what's their surprising role in daily life? It goes way beyond the cooking pot.
It certainly does.
We're going to explore some really detailed source material on this. And honestly, it's quite a story.
Indeed. So, maybe the place to start is just the scale. India isn't just a producer, it's one of the world's largest producers of onions, a huge player. And while they grew different kinds, it's those red onions, they're distinct red onions, that are really famous. They're the ones recognized pretty much everywhere.
And they definitely have that stronger flavor, don't they? Sharper, more pungent than, say, milder white onions you might get elsewhere. Great for a curry.
Exactly. But that pungency, it's not just about taste.
Oh, what else?
Well, that same quality actually acts like a natural preservative. It gives them a much longer shelf life compared to a lot of other onion varieties.
Ah, okay, so that's key.
It's absolutely crucial. That longer shelf life is precisely why they can be exported so widely. You see them shipped all the way to the Gulf countries, across Europe, parts of Southeast Asia too.
Because they can actually survive the trip.
Right.
Makes sense.
Precisely.
And does this massive export operation rely on specific growing areas within India?
Yeah, it does. The main hubs are states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, and also Karnataka. Those regions have the right climate, the right soil. They're the powerhouses behind India's global onion supply.
It's just fascinating how something so basic, this vegetable, can become such a political force, almost. Our sources keep pointing out that onion prices in India are incredibly sensitive.
Very sensitive.
How does that work?
Yeah.
How does an onion get so much political weight?
Well, think about it. Onions aren't just an ingredient in India. They're fundamental, a staple. They're in practically every household, used in cooking almost daily.
Right.
So when local prices start shooting up, it causes real hardship, and the government knows this. So they often react by restricting exports.
To keep more onions inside India and hopefully bring prices down.
Exactly, to try and control the domestic market, keep things affordable for their own population.
And that has direct political consequences, doesn't it? Like actual
Yeah.
votes are on the line. We're
Right.
talking about politicians potentially losing elections if onion prices get too high.
Oh, absolutely. There have been famous examples. People sometimes talk about the onion elections. Price hikes have genuinely fueled major protests in the past. It really shows how an everyday item, something you might not think twice about, can suddenly become a major source of political trouble. It connects directly to food security, people's daily budget, their sense of stability.
It's incredible. An everyday vegetable sparking political unrest. And how quickly does that domestic situation in India, say a price spike, affect other countries, like the Gulf you mentioned?
Almost immediately. That interconnectedness is very clear. If prices jump in India, markets in the Gulf feel it right away.
Because they rely so heavily on those imports.
Precisely. So a problem in India becomes their problem too, very fast. It's a classic example of how shocks in one part of the global food system can ripple outwards. It highlights vulnerabilities,
Yeah, definitely. And that dependency makes total sense when you think about Indian cooking. Onions are they're the starting point for so much, aren't they?
Absolutely fundamental. Simple curries, elaborate biryanis. So many dishes begin with frying onions. It's the base flavor.
So their cultural importance is huge too.
It really is. I mean, it gets to the point where if onions become too expensive in India, some families actually change how they cook. They might temporarily stop using onions altogether.
Wow, just stop using them.
Yeah, which tells you something, doesn't it? It's not just about adjusting a recipe slightly. For many, that smell of onions cooking is like the smell of home. It's tradition.
So cutting them out because of cost isn't just a budget thing. It feels like a disruption to daily life, to culture itself.
Exactly. It shows how deeply ingrained they are. It's not a luxury item. It's seen as a necessity. It connects millions, from the farmer in Maharashtra right to the dinner table in Mumbai or even Muscat.
And the sheer scale we talked about.
Mhm.
India producing over 25 million tons a year. That's a staggering number.
It is enormous.
But even with that huge volume, demand is still incredibly high. Why is that? Why isn't 25 million tons always enough?
Well, part of it is just the sheer number of people who rely on them daily in India, plus the export demand we discussed. But also, crucially, onions are seasonal.
Ah, okay, so production isn't constant year-round.
Not uniformly, no, and they're very vulnerable to the weather.
So things like heavy rain or drought, they can really mess things up.
Absolutely. A bad monsoon or a serious dry spell can devastate the crop in key regions.
Right.
That can turn a stable supply situation into a shortage almost overnight.
Leading to those price swings we talked about.
Exactly. It shows that precarious balance. You've got this vital commodity, essential to daily life and trade, but it's subject to, well, the whims of the climate.
So Indian onions, they're not just a vegetable. It sounds like they're almost an economic indicator, maybe even a cultural one.
That's a really good way to put it. They function as both, definitely. An economic barometer and a cultural touchstone.
So where does this leave us? We started thinking about that simple onion you might chop up for dinner. But as we've unpacked it, it turns out this seemingly ordinary thing is tied into global trade. It can influence politics, even sway elections.
Right.
And it's deeply woven into the culture and economy for millions and millions of people.
It really is more than just a vegetable, isn't it? It's a whole narrative. It connects fields and governments and shipping containers and eventually, yes, our kitchens. It's quite a complex web.
So maybe the next time you are chopping an onion, you'll remember there's this whole intricate story behind it.
Hopefully.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other things around us, maybe everyday items in your own life, things we take for granted, what other ordinary things might have these incredibly complex stories tied up in economics, politics, culture? Just waiting for us to look a little closer.